we can agree there is a lot of information out there, right? So today, let's just simplify it. I'm going to give you 3 tips that if you apply these, it's going to help you build long-term wealth, no matter what's going on. Keeping it simple so that you don't end up in overwhelm, because if you're consuming all the information and not doing anything, it's not going to end up working for you, right? All right, here we go. Welcome back to the Your Money, Your Life podcast. We are talking today about 3 tips to build wealth. Because if you are consuming all the information, doing all the things, there are tons of experts out there. Shoot, I put out a lot of content. If you're consuming all this information but not taking action, that's not good because you're not going to see success. So these are the 3 simple things that I would focus on. Okay. The first thing is stop worrying about how much debt you're in. We've talked about this time and time again. Okay. It does not give you long-term success. I want you to focus on your net worth and improving your net worth. When we focus on the positive, we're going to attract more of the positive to you. And as you continue to grow your net worth, you can pay off debt too, because it's like a byproduct, but your focus has to be on your net worth. All right. Really simple for that. I'll include a link to the worksheet in the show notes if you don't have a worksheet for the net worth, because we have one. The second tip is setting aside a percentage of your income for whatever you're trying to grow. So as an entrepreneur, that's probably your business. And this is really why we should be percentage-based budgeting in general, because everything is percentage-based budget. If everything is done with percentage-based budgeting, then we handle that roller coaster of inconsistent income. But even if you're somebody that happens to be like you're a contractor and you're on a salary, still percentage-based budget, because if things ever change, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. It's already in place. Problem solved before you even get there. But make sure that you're prioritizing that growth that you're looking towards. So if you're looking to prioritize the growth of your business, make sure you're investing into your business. If you're looking to prioritize the growth of your savings account, make sure you're prioritizing your savings. You see how this works? Really simple. Again, it's not crazy complicated, but like we have to do these things. And then the third thing, or hold on, back up. Second part, pro step. Do this right after you get paid. Don't wait until the end of the pay period to say like, okay, if the money's still there, I'll move it. Without that system in place, without discipline, you'll end up spending it. This is also why I recommend having multiple accounts, because we need to be able to separate where things are at. Now, you don't have to go hardcore. And we talk about this inside Prosperity Simplified, Budgeting Simplified, which is the personal budgeting system, and Money Mastery Academy, like everywhere. Like you don't have to go like crazy complicated. You can be simplified, but there's like minimums that you have to obtain. Okay. But do it the priority here is do it when you first get paid, but then you have to have somewhere to move it to be able to like move it to where we need to get paid. Okay. Does that make sense? Because without the discipline, if it's just sitting there, you're going to spend it. We'll do another episode on the savings account and like making your savings accounts actually work for you, because I know that was a very popular that was before I was doing a podcast, and it probably can use a refresh. So make sure you're subscribed. We'll do that soon. Okay. Third thing, ready? Create a goal. Like, where are you working towards? Now, this is not like I want to make 6 figures. This is like in 5 years, what do you want your life to look like? I don't want you to necessarily put like strict deadlines on it, because that actually creates more friction, more problems. Okay. So do you want to be out of debt? Like that's an okay place to like visualize that. Do you want to be bringing in passive income? Do you want to have a real estate portfolio? Do you want to live on the ranch? I'm raising my hand here. Like I want to have a mini ranch homestead. Like, but does that mean that we have to be doing everything ourselves? No. You can create this vision of where you want it to go without it being restrictive. So if 5 years feels too hard to achieve those things, then maybe you look at 10 years, but you have to have something that you're working towards, or that discipline that we talked about with number 2 isn't going to be there because there's no reason to change anything. Most of the time we overestimate what we can accomplish in 1 year, and we underestimate what we can accomplish in 5 to 10 years. So that's why we work on the 5 to 10 years, not the 1 year, because most of us have set income goals. Like, I'm going to make 6 figures, and then it didn't happen. And I've done a whole different video on why that happens and the problems. That's on YouTube. That's not on the podcast, but I can link to that. I'll put it in the show notes for you. Because if we set the income goal and you didn't achieve it, then we actually create more problems. So just create your vision. So it was simple, right? Like, keeping it short. You have to, we're focusing on our net worth. You're going to track that. Ideally, you're tracking it monthly. If you're a customer, join us in the execution lab. That's a great time to join there or to work on that. Number 2 was setting aside the percentage, like when you get paid for whatever you're prioritizing. The pro step was like using percentage-based budgeting. And then the third one was creating that goal, that vision of where you're working towards in the next 5 to 10 years. What do you want your life to look like? What are the things that you want to be able to do? What are you passionate about? What are things that you don't want to be going on? And draw that out. And the more detail you can go into, the better. But it doesn't have to be as detailed because it can change. It's just about setting that first intention. Now, I'm going to make sure that I include resources in the show notes for you, because while this might be simple, like, it's simple to say, not necessarily simple to do. So if you're like, I don't even know where to begin, you can always send me a message on Instagram at Aimee Cerka. I'll link to it there, and we can have a conversation about what you might need to move forward, because maybe you've got everything that you need. But I'll make sure that if you need a tool or resource, we've got that for you. So again, check out the show notes for additional resources, and make sure you stay tuned for next week, because we've got a very special episode coming out. It's actually already recorded, and it was awesome. So I'll see you then. Thank you so much for listening to the Your Money, Your Life podcast. Wondering what's next? When you're ready, there are different levels of support that you can use on the path to creating unstoppable finances and your unstoppable life. After all, your finances are unique, and your support should be too. Ultimately, we'll create a customized plan to ditch financial struggle for good that works for you, your goals, your priorities, your life. Go to workwithaimee.com to get started with one of our most popular programs, or you can book a Q&A call with me, and we'll figure out what your next step should be.